If you follow me here on YouTube or on my blog, then you know I've been doing a lot of different projects in our master bedroom to update it to my current style. I've already tackled the bed frame and changed that up, as well as our lamps. And I also redid some of the furniture pieces, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today, and I really like how they turned out. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it. So here is a reminder of what I did to our bed frame. It was just the wood color, and I changed it up with paint to give it kind of a rustic farmhouse look. And here is an overall look of the room and the furniture that I will be updating. I will be updating the little side table as well as my large dresser. And so I'm going to start with the side table. So I removed the hardware, and now I'm just using a piece of sandpaper to sand down the surface, and then I will wipe it all down and move on to paint. And because I was really happy with the result that I got from our bed frame when I redid it, I am using the same paint on the furniture pieces that I am redoing here. And it is by Kiehl's. It already has the primer mixed in. It is called White and in the satin finish. And you've probably heard me mention this before, but this is my favorite paintbrush. I try to keep these on hand, but they do wash up really nice, and I can usually use them quite a few times before I need to replace them. And if you're in the market for a good paintbrush, this is definitely one worth looking into. I will have it linked in the description below if you would like to check it out further. It took 2 to 3 coats of paint to get the coverage that I wanted, and then it was time to move on to the top. I'm going to do the top completely different. I wanted to darken it up, so I'm going to sand down the top and wipe it all down and prepare it for stain. The stain that I'm using is by Minwax, and it is in the color of dark walnut, and I will just be brushing it on and then wiping it off. And actually it wasn't quite as dark as what I really wanted, and I will show you how I darkened it up later in the video. I used a couple of coats of stain on the top to try to get that dark color that I wanted, and then I wiped it down really well so that it could dry properly and cure, and it still wasn't near as dark as what I wanted it to be. So I will show you when I do the dresser what I did to fix that. And now I can move on to the bottom portion of this table. I'm just using a piece of sandpaper to rough it up a little bit and give it more of a rustic, worn look. And here is a peek at how the side table turned out, and then I will move on to my dresser. And I actually did this over a couple of days time. I did not do this all in one day. I just did it where I had some free time and could get it done. And so next I'm going to remove all of this stuff off my dresser and get to work. The next thing I did was remove all of the hardware, and then I moved on to sanding. And yes, I left all my stuff in the drawers while I did this. It probably would have been much easier to take everything out, but that's just how I chose to go about it. These two pieces of furniture that I'm working on in this video actually match our bed frame. We purchased them all together at the same time, and so I want them all to have a cohesive look. So after I had the paint covers that I wanted and the paint had dried, I used sandpaper and did this same technique of just roughing it up so they would all have that cohesive look. And then I will move on to the top. So I did the top the same way that I did on the side table. Used stain, wiped it all down, and then to make it darker, I actually tried using some black acrylic paint. Now I'm not sure if that's the best way to go, but it has worked and I have not had any problems with it, and it's the color that I wanted, so I am extremely happy with it. So that is what I did to get the dark color that I wanted. After the stain had pretty much dried, I put on the black acrylic paint and did it the same way. I wiped it down really well till I got most of it off. And then at the end, I did put a coat of polyacrylic onto the surface of my dresser, as well as the side table, which I used the paint on as well. And I will give you a look at our bedroom so you can see how it's looking so far. I have a lot of ideas for this space that I will be working on soon. And you can see the dresser on the other side of the bed. I have not done anything to that yet because I'm still debating what I want to do or if I want to replace it. I'm thinking about looking for a side table and just changing that out and painting a new side table to match everything else in the room. And yes, I do have my office in our bedroom. I know that's probably not ideal, but that's what works for me. I actually moved it out at one point and had it in a different room, but I just didn't like it in there, so I moved it all back into this room. And here is a look at the dresser. I absolutely love how these turned out. I think they turned out so pretty. And the top is the exact color that I wanted. Now, like I said, I don't know if acrylic paint is the best way to go, but I have not had any trouble with it so far. So far, so good. If you're new to my channel, I share a lot of budget-friendly DIY, home, and lifestyle content. And if you like that sort of thing, if you like this video, I would love it if you hit subscribe and hung around. And if you did like this video and this project, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.